Welcome to Game Crunch Game of the Year 2022. With Brandon.
You're supposed to figure it out.
With Nick.
I'm just asking for a game to explain itself correctly, and it doesn't.
And Mike.
And it is a disappointing game for a lot of people.
There are many great games, but there can only be one. There can only be one Game of the Year.
Alright, you guys ready for
Top 10?
the best part?
Yeah, the best part.
Yeah, best part. The top 10s.
Yeah.
Is this the top 10 for us combined or each one of
So we
our
do
top
combine
10s?
first, and then we do our
Okay,
own.
just making sure. Okay,
Yeah,
I was just making sure
that's-
nothing changed.
Let me remove the previous top 10,
Mhm.
because I never deleted it out from when I
Okay.
copied this over. But for our listeners at home, we're going to nominate some titles for this top 10.
Yep.
We'll probably get, 12 games, then we'll...
You
knock
just
it
want to
down
leave that one on the list?
No.
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
It can win again.
Good.
Yeah, we're not gonna. The big thing with the top 10 is we always the rule has got to be unanimous for the top 10.
Yep.
So yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll go round robin, and Nick, we'll do it. Well, Nick, you lost the guessing game last year as per the
did.
scoring, so I'll let you go first.
I did lose the guessing game. Pretty bad, I think, too.
It says it was 4 to 5 to 7 is what it looks
Yeah.
like. I'm reading it right now.
Yikes.
Yeah. I'm gonna put Pokemon Legends Arceus on the board.
Nice.
Safe bet.
Who's next?
We should. Well, I mean, you're next because you got the second for the thing.
What were we gonna say? You know what? We should what?
Oh, never mind. It's a
No, I
great
wanna know.
idea, but I can't do it now.
Oh, what was it though?
I was gonna say we should give bonus points to someone who nominates the title that ends up taking number 1.
Ah, okay. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, I'm putting Elden Ring. Easy.
Well, we know
Figured that
it's
we could be on
number
here.
11 now. No, just kidding.
No, but-
Elden Rings.
The Elden Rings. I will put I'll put Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I'm not going to neglect it this time. All right, Brandon, back to you.
Vampire Survivors.
Nick,
Splatoon 3.
another safe bet there. I will put Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Oh, I skipped Brandon. It was Brandon.
Yeah, you did. That's fine.
Yeah.
Neon White.
I knew you were going to put Xenoblade Chronicles on there anyways.
Hey, that's fine.
Nick,
I'll put TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Hell yeah, you will. I was like, I don't need to put that one because Nick will.
Brandon.
Wait. Wait. Did we do this right? Is this my turn?
No, because I skipped you last time.
Oh, okay. God of War Ragnarok.
I'll do Pokemon Violet Scarlet.
There's no C in Ragnarok.
I don't care.
Okay.
Nick's back to you.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That's how I feel with this list this year.
Now we're getting to the bottom for me anyway.
Oh, I'm already scraping the barrel.
Sorry.
Let's throw
Is it Nick's turn right now?
yeah.
Okay.
Let's throw man, I don't even know. Let's do fuck it. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
Hmm.
Even though I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who played that.
Played it. Not as
You
much
did?
as you.
No.
Brandon.
Fuck.
But
I know, this is
Protocol
getting-
now.
Let's go Bayonetta 3.
Fuck you.
Out his ass.
Wait. Mike, do you want it?
I mean, I could throw something shitty on there. If you...
No, you take Bayonetta 3. I'll just say Metal Hellsinger, and then you can
Okay.
vote it out.
You can vote it out.
Okay, so that's our top 10 nominees. Pokemon Legends Arceus, Elden Ring, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Vampire Survivors, Splatoon 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Neon White, TMNT, Shredder's Revenge, God of War, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
I see that you decided to fix it and also make it worse. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a gift for calling out my spelling.
Should I point out that you also spelt hell without 2 L's?
It's
Get
the
it right.
German way.
6 now or
I will
something?
also say the S in Shredder's needs an apostrophe because it is possessive. It's Shredder's revenge.
Yeah, he's possessing that revenge.
Yeah.
That is true. Mario Rabbit Sparkles of Hope.
Just completely tearing this shit.
Well, you know what? It should be Pokemon Legends colon Arceus.
I'm
right.
grading this paper.
Yeah. So yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Anyone have? I mean, how do we want to do this? Do we want to like break it down by what we think should be at the top and the bottom? Do we want to break down what
Yeah.
we don't think should be on the list? Do we want to? I don't know.
Let's do. Can we do bottom top, like the bottom 5, or should we do?
It doesn't
Top
matter. We can
5.
do whatever we want.
What do you want to do, Nick?
I think we should do the bottom 5 first. That way they
Okay.
don't leave before the first. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I mean, if we start this ripped off with, all right, number 1, fucking Splatoon 3. I'd be like, all right, cool, I'm done listening. I already know what we got.
Years where we've gotten this list together and we're just like, oh, it's perfect. We're not changing anything.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened last year, actually.
Yeah, this
And then
list.
sometimes it's like we get it in there and it's just like the nitty gritty negotiation for like 1 and 2. So I don't know.
Yeah. Listen, I know I'm not going to win with any of my picks, but as long as I can keep them on this list, that's all I care about at this point. Like, if I can keep Neon White and Vampire Survivors at like 5 and 6, or 6 and 7, or 7 and 8, I'll be happy.
I definitely will say Vampire Survivors in the bottom half of this.
Oh no, man, it's so good.
I will
Or are you
talk
saying
about it later.
You don't want it kicked out. Is that what you're saying?
It stays on the list.
Okay.
I think it should definitely be in the 7 or 8 slot. That's kind of how I feel about that.
I feel like you haven't played enough Vampire Survivors to realize that you're wrong.
I've played, according
I
to
watched you play it,
Steam.
it just plays itself.
According to Steam, how many hours have I played? Where can I look at my fucking hours profile?
I hope Nick whips out like some stupid huge number.
I hope so too.
Could you imagine if I was like 90 hours? No, I've played 5.5 hours.
That's
I've
so
played
unacceptable.
66 hours and then another 20 offline.
I will say that's 5.5 hours just from Friday evening to now.
You got the bug. You got the bug. You got the Vampire Survivors bug, good sir.
Like I said, I will talk about it more later. But
Now you know why
Okay.
you played God of War.
Yeah, it makes sense. Vampire Survivors is better than God of War.
now my question to you, because this year seemed to just be a Miyazaki jerk-off fest.
Oh yeah,
Did you like Elden Ring more or Ragnarok more?
Elden Ring,
Okay.
easy.
I
Ragnarok has
I'm
a better
very
story. Elden Ring has a lot more story, but it's much like other Miyazaki titles. It is for you to find, but unlike other Miyazaki titles, Elden Ring actually has dialogue between characters that makes sense and is pertinent to the story that is told to you up front, alongside cryptic tellings of stories and stuff like that.
So my thing is with Elden Ring, and I genuinely ask this in a serious way:
Okay.
Is it or is it not just a Miyazaki jerk-off fest for people who enjoy what he does? Only because, right? Like, I
Go
am not a Souls-like fan. I don't like the Soul
Mm-hmm.
any of the Souls games. I think really the only one that was the most palatable for me
Mhm.
was Bloodborne.
Okay.
And even then, I wasn't feeling it too much.
Okay.
So like, obviously I've noticed just the absolute just explosion of fanfare over Elden Ring from
Mhm.
my own friend group and just, everywhere kind of.
Yeah.
Is it really that good, or is
Yes.
this specifically just people who enjoy Souls-like games just are louder and
No, I've actually seen people that have never played a Souls-like game have Elden Ring be their first Souls-like game, and they go through the 5 stages of grief, and then they figure it out, and they're like, "Oh shit, okay," and then they just have a fucking blast.
Maybe what I'll do is, because my buddy has a physical copy, maybe I will borrow it and just see.
So here's the thing that you need to understand, and I know that you are much smarter than most people that play games, so I really shouldn't have to explain this to you, but Elden Ring much like Breath of the Wild, if there's something that you don't want to do right now, or like an enemy that feels like outside of your capability, go somewhere else. And that's what makes Elden Ring so much better than most other Souls-like titles, and also why so many Souls fans actually don't like Elden Ring. A lot of people that are like hardcore Souls fans find Elden Ring to be too casual, and I think those people are fucking stupid. But I think that it is the best jumping on point for someone to get into a Souls game, and I think it stands alone as an excellent game on its own, just as an open world adventure game. It's going to be much harder than the other ones you've played before, but I think that the actual feeling you get from playing Elden Ring is very rewarding, and you can figure it out a lot faster than any of the other Cryptic Souls-like games. And it's a lot more newcomer friendly than past Souls games. So, yeah. It is worth the hype. I don't think it's just people that like Souls games that are filleting this game to death. Because I have literally watched people that have hated Souls games get recommended playing Elden Ring. And they trashed on Souls in general. They did this, that, and the other. And then they came back around as they played more and more of Elden Ring. And they understood not only what it was for Elden Ring to be such a good game, but also what made other Souls titles so good. And then a lot of the time they would go back and try to experience those past Souls games that they didn't like in the past and realize that Elden Ring taught them how to play those games better now as well, but did it in a way that was much less cryptic and actually felt more someone's speed that hasn't played a Souls title before.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
I think it's definitely worth it.
I
I think Elden Ring should be in the top 5, easy. That's just my thing. If you want to just put it at 5, that's fine. I think it deserves to be there.
What were you saying, Mike?
Said I'm pretty sure Brandon made the exact same speech with Bloodborne.
No. Not with Bloodborne. Bloodborne's not a game where you can just go somewhere else. That's what makes Elden Ring stand out and so different from the past titles. Because of the fact that it's an open world game, because of the fact that you can go to different areas and come back later and tackle everything in your own time frame, level yourself up, you can grind out for like days and then go and fucking one-shot some bosses. If you've gotten like the right equipment and this, that, and the other, you can just do that. You can over-level yourself in Elden Ring. That's really not something you can do in Bloodborne or Demon Souls or Dark Souls, because those games really just want you to actively get good. And even though Elden Ring, the meme is get good, that game can be approached in a different fashion than other past FromSoft games.
Okay. Like I said, I will give it a shot.
Yeah, sure. Let me know how it turns out for you.
Yeah.
Well, don't all talk at once.
Well, I'm waiting for you to put anything on this list. So far, everything's been put on here by me.
I mean, I put them in the numbers.
All right, Mike.
Randomly placing things on the numbers. What would I put on the list? I mean, I think Splatoon 3 we'd probably put in the top 5.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think TMNT should be number 3. Damn it, you put Splatoon there. Okay, yeah, this should be number 4 then.
I mean, it can shift around.
I mean, I just put it in a spot.
TMNT deserves to be in top 5. Easy.
Oh, fine. I'll put TMNT in number 3. Geez.
Oh no, it doesn't have to be number 3. I just
You're
fucking memeing it up at this point.
This is moving up the list.
Splatoon 3 is not top 3 material. It's like 4 at best. Come on.
I think it's my well, no, not I think it is my most played game this year.
That's okay. Mine is at number 7.
Well, I can fix that.
No, stop.
Stop.
Listen, all right? Legends Arceus deserves to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
Now, where you put it, that depends on your choice, but it deserves to be in the top 5. That's kind of where I saw it at too.
Well, I mean, it wasn't going to be in 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're just placing it there. We got to rearrange it.
Listen, all right? I feel like Elden Ring should be 4 and God of War Ragnarok should be 5 or 6. That's my thoughts. But yeah.
You said Vampire Survivors was better than God of War Ragnarok. That's why I put it above God of War Ragnarok.
That's my own personal take. When you take everything as a whole and not just my bias, God of War Ragnarok is a better overall game, and it also is received Oh no, it actually isn't received better, but fuck you.
Brandon,
You're not gonna put Vampire Survivors in the top
Meta-
5. You're just not gonna do it. I know that for a fact. You won't do
Metacritic.
it no matter how much I want you to.
Brandon, I just wanted to let you know that
Vampire.
I listened to you. That's what this was. This is-
Wait. yeah, let's check Metacritic's Vampire Survivors rating.
So Vampire Survivors, I'm gonna go off of the iOS version,
Mhm.
sitting at a 92. It's pretty high.
Yeah. very
Yep.
high.
God of War, God of War Ragnarok edges it out at a 94,
Wow. Well, there you go.
and then the DLC for Vampire Survivors isn't rated. And is there not like a Steam?
There is, but it's listed as 87 because it also has the ratings for the DLC in here for some reason.
Weird.
Like they're taking DLC critic ratings also, and a lot of the critic ratings for the DLC is it's good. It's just more Vampire Survivors, so it brings down the review score because of that.
Love that. Love that. Very good.
Well, especially for like a DLC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. The sad thing is, well,
Yeah.
I mean, well, no.
what?
So, I mean, Kirby. Okay, I'm trying to think of a way to say this in a way that makes sense.
Okay,
So, of the things that I've not like tentatively placed on this list yet,
Mhm.
I mean, I could see Kirby and Xenoblade on there, maybe Pokemon, but like the other three, I really don't care what one makes it into the. Of those final three, I don't really have a care which one makes it into what will presumably be the 10.
I will say, as the person who put Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope into the ring,
Mm-hmm.
it is good. It's fun. However, I don't think that it really beats anything else on this list, only because it doesn't really do a lot for me in terms of being different and being fresh. It's good, but only because the first one was so good, and it kind of like is just more of that, which is fine.
Going for Sparks of Hope. Is that what you're saying?
So yeah, Sparks of Hope is a good game, but like it doesn't need to be on this list. I kind of just put it on here as it was my turn, and there was a game. So
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
but what I was trying to say though is like I think all three of our final picks, I kind of think we felt that way, unless anyone feels super compelled for their last pick.
I think the only one that
I have
anybody
Metal
felt
Hellsinger.
anything for was Metal Hell. Yeah, like
I know
Brandon
I'm not
was
going to put it on
like,
the list. Even if it was number 10, I'd be very happy because Metal Hellsinger, I think, is excellent due to the fact that they did so many different things. They did a first-person shooter, arena shooter with music that was built from the ground up for the game, and all the music flows perfectly. And on top of all of that, the bands came out of retirement, some of them, to do completely brand new songs that have never been in anything else, and it just fits the actual theme of the game perfectly. And then the fact that there's no DMCA threats for playing this game, that's amazing, because modern day, that's a big issue nowadays with music. Even just music in a game, like GTA, like Watch Dogs or whatever, music like that could get you DMCA claimed or have things happen to your channel or your stream or whatever because that music played. The fact that the developers of Metal Hellsinger went out of their way for this music game, which a lot of rhythm game people just don't do, and made it so people can stream it and can like do recordings of themselves playing it and whatnot, that just shows me that they care that much more about the game. And on top of all of that, I mean, it's just a really fucking good first-person shooter. So I put it on here because I have a bias towards it, a massive bias, because I love like arena-based shooters, and I love like dark, gritty, Doom-like shooters, and that's what Metal Hellsinger is, but played to music. Metal Hellsinger is essentially like Doom 2016. Was it 2016? Or whatever. It's not Eternal, but it's like the good one. Played to some bitchin' soundtracks. So I feel strongly about that game for that reason. I feel stronger about my other picks, but I would love for that to be on the list, potentially, if no one else wants to slap anything else in here.
I guess we'll see.
Mhm.
Let's place the other things.
Okay.
I will say
Mm-hmm.
Kirby.
I think Kirby deserves to be on the list.
I think
I think
Kirby
it's
is a 6.
I actually do as well.
Yeah, I think it's totally reasonable, actually.
So that leaves 2 more slots,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh no, so we got. Oh, I didn't even realize. So I thought I miscounted. I wasn't paying attention.
What?
So yeah, so those bottom 3 probably could just all be wiped out then.
Rip. You're gonna put Pokemon on here?
I'd put Pokemon over there.
I
over
would
in the
not.
bottom three.
I would not. The bottom three have care and attention put into them at least. Pokemon does not. That's just the long and short of it. It's a good game. Like, it's fun to play. I enjoyed my time with Pokemon. I don't think it is anything more than a way to sell the upcoming new Pokemon cards and the new TV show.
But
There is
after
much
I
less
was
care and
told it-
attention put into Pokemon Violet and Scarlet than there was in Sword and Shield or any of the past games. It is just lazy.
Oh, and actually, speaking of random news tidbit, but since we recorded last week, they did announce that there is a new update coming next month that is going to address some of the bugs.
Oh, good.
Where was that at?
Where was it announced?
The Pokemon Twitter.
I don't know where it was announced. Sarah B posted it. Because there was a bunch of Pokemon news that came out last week. And they said there's going to be bug patches, things like that. There's going to be an update for home. They announced some of the new terror raids. Like Greninja is going to be the new kind of 7-star terror raid. So yeah, they just dumped a whole bunch of things. They did like a video for the 1,000 Pokemon to kind of like highlight all the different Pokemon that have come out. Kind of did like a little mini Pokemon day without really doing anything specific.
I didn't even see it.
I honestly didn't see it either.
Yeah, it just kind of like snuck out. It's like, hey, here's a big old Pokemon drop of information. But people are losing their mind about Greninja being back. Because I don't think it's been on any of the Switch games. Yeah, but there's a new patch. There's something else about it too. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it on Sarah B fast.
I saw that there was the Pokeball thing announced, like the
Pokeball.
like the Love Ball,
Oh yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Let's see.
We could play bargaining chip.
What bargaining chip? What bargain chip do you have, Brandon?
Don't know how high up. It can't be number 1, though. Okay? But Xenoblade Chronicles gets a permanent spot in the top 5, cannot fall below the top 5, no matter what, as long as Pokemon Violet and Scarlet doesn't go on this fucking list.
Wow. Really desperate for
Yes.
it.
I think to put Pokemon Violet and Scarlet on this list is absolutely disgraceful.
I
And
do.
Pokemon Violet and Scarlet does not deserve any form of praise because of how lazy of a fucking title it is. It is the same thing that we are not giving the same shit to Pokemon Violet and Scarlet as we would give EA or Ubisoft or Activision or Blizzard, and Pokemon Violet and Scarlet's getting special treatment. I don't think 2 Pokemon games deserve to be on this list. I think we all pretty much unanimously agree that Arceus is probably one of the best games we played this year. And I do not think Violet and Scarlet, because of their technical issues, because of the amount of time it's taken them to address fucking anything, because of the fact that it was released in such a poor state that it was just honestly unacceptable, deserves to be on this list. And I think that if we were to put it on this list, we're part of the issue.
I will say I enjoy that. Excuse me. That you said instead of adding Metal Hellsinger, do not add
I know.
Pokemon Scarlet.
I didn't ask for Metal Hellsinger to be on this list. I just said don't let Pokemon
No, I'm
be on this
I'm
list.
just saying, like, you could have been like, I will let Xenoblade be like top 4 if you put Metal Hellsinger 10, and then like that would be a much easier way of knocking off Pokemon Violet and Scarlet than just saying like.
And I would
don't
love
want
to do
Violet
that,
and
but I knew
Scarlet.
that Mike wasn't going to be like, oh, well, why does your game get to be on? Even though I do think Metal Hellsinger should be number 10. But my main fight right now is that Pokemon Violet and Scarlet does not make it on this list.
This is a tempting deal. But I guess it depends on if Nick thinks that it is.
I don't want to be
This
part
is
of the
the
problem. I just don't want to be part of the problem. And I feel like having it on a top 10 list is part of making you part of the problem.
I mean, like, if that's the deal you want to make, that's the deal you make. I'm fine. I will say, like, technical issues aside, I do agree that like having 2 Pokemon games on this list would be like not a good
How
look.
much shit did we give Violet and Scarlet during its release?
And Arceus is definitely better.
It is.
I don't disagree with that. All right, fine, Brandon. I'll take your deal.
Okay. You're gonna put Splatoon now at 3? What is going on?
Just there. That's how it happened.
There's 2 2s now, you dipshit.
Tied for second.
No.
Wait for a second.
No.
Oh,
That's
I
not
guess
how that
you're right.
works.
Yeah, because TMNT wouldn't be 3, then it would be 4. You're right.
TMNT deserves to be in the top 3.
But what do we want
Honestly, if
to
it wasn't for the fact that Arceus is probably going to be unanimously agreed to be our game of the year by all of us, I would say Shredder's Revenge should have been game of the year. But I know we're doing Arceus probably.
Well, then what would we do for 10?
I really want Metal Hellsinger, but I don't know if you're going to let me have that.
I already bowed out with Mario and Rabbids. I already said that doesn't need to
So
be
it's
in there.
Bayonetta 3 or Metal Hellsinger.
Fine, you can have fucking Metal Hellsinger.
Good.
Because I will say, most of the games that I have played on this list are better than Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and the music alone in Neon White is better than Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
I know. And I don't care enough about Bayonetta to put it on, or Mario and Rabbids. either of them into
Sadly,
that
neither do I. Bayonetta 3 had this issue where it felt like they wanted to just make it a sequel to Astral Chain, and I was not here for it.
Probably yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of random rumors today,
hmm
I don't know. Not speaking of, we've not been talking about random rumors, but just random rumor that popped up today. Did you see that supposedly there's a remake of Bait and Kados?
I did not, but that sounds awesome.
Let's do that.
Just randomly popped up today. Apparently, it was the same person that leaked Kojima the fact that he had a new game coming.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't look too much more into it than that, but no, it's just a very random one to come, but it's very topical because card games are the shit right now.
They really, truly are.
Although Bait and Kados Origins was far superior to the original. Did you play either of them?
I did play them. This is the GameCube games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played them both. I don't remember much of either of them, but I do remember that I played them.
Origins, fucking phenomenal. That was top tier.
This would be the best time to bring back card games like RPGs because they're everywhere.
Yeah, no, they are. I hope if it's a remake, I hope it's both games. That's my
That'd be sick.
Yeah. And maybe speed up Xenoblade Chronicles, or not Xenoblade Chronicles, Bait and Kados, a little fast. It's kind of a slow card game.
I see.
Anyways, where do we want to shift things now? Do we want to shift God of War out of the bottom?
I think it deserves to be out of the bottom, but I would take a 6th place for it.
And move Kirby. I thought Kirby was a solid 6.
Listen, all right. Let's let Nick have his thoughts on this.
Kirby's definitely a solid 6.
Okay.
I would say God of War, not even playing God of War should I think the bottom 3 is Vampire Survivors, Neon White, and Metal Hellsinger.
Yeah.
Which then tentatively would make God of War Ragnarok number 7 instead of number 8.
Okay.
How does that make you feel?
Unless, Brandon, you got something to knock down from the top 5.
I think Shredder's Revenge should be higher.
I thought you were going to put Shredder's Revenge lower, honestly, and try and move Elden Ring up.
I played through Shredder's Revenge 3 times in one day.
That doesn't mean it's good. That just means...
No, it was very good.
I can poop 3 times in one day. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to do that again.
No, it was very good. Shredder's Revenge is basically the best beat 'em up I played since Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I think it's one of the best beat 'em up games ever made.
Do you love Shredder's Revenge more than God of War Ragnarok?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you love Elden Ring more than God of War Ragnarok?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I guess the Ragnarok's trapped in the bottom. There's nothing you can do. 7's the best you're gonna get.
I know. I want to move Shredder up to 3 and Splatoon to 4. Why is Xenoblade at 2? I get it.
Because of the trade that you made. You did this.
The trade said somewhere in the top 5. It didn't say literally, and I said not number 1, so I guess that makes sense.
So
but none of us played fucking Xenoblade Chronicles 3. None of us played through Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or 1 all the way either. Not all of us. Almost none of us, except for Mike.
Almost none of us?
Almost none of us. Listen, all right? Listen, all right? This is my defection. This is my de facto list, all right? And you could say no, but I think it should be it. All right?
Okay, no.
I'll keep Elden Ring locked at 5. All right? I'll even let you be above Elden Ring.
Okay.
But I think Splatoon's a solid 3 and Shredder's Revenge is a solid 2. I'm serious. I would put Shredder's Revenge at number 1 if I could, but there's no way I can fight Arceus. but
Okay,
I think
how about
Shredder's
that?
Revenge is a solid 2.
Now they can be tied for fourth.
No. You think Splatoon 3 was like that good that it deserves to be number 2? Legitimately. That's a serious question.
I mean, it could be. That was my
Hmm.
most played game of the year.
Okay.
What
about you, Nick? Do you
I
think
would-
Shredder's Revenge is better than Splatoon 3?
I do.
I do too.
But like in like different aspects, like right, like Splatoon 3 is a very good multiplayer game. I love that game's
Yeah.
multiplayer to death.
It's something I'm
Um,
going to come back to, but I'm also going to come back to Shredder's Revenge.
Salmon Run's fun as shit,
Mhm.
albeit the maps can be a little frustrating sometimes. All of the Splatfests are fun as hell. The single player was fine. It was very good. It was very okay.
I didn't play the single player at all.
It's basically just like obstacle courses. Like it's not like it's just kind of like, hey, this is what you got to do with this gun.
Yeah.
It's like a really good way to familiarize yourself with like guns in the game and how to do certain things and like stuff of that nature. But like, did I do it because I wanted to do it? Kind of, sort of. Did I also only beat it because I was homesick with COVID? Yeah, probably. So, like, I would just say for pure enjoyment factor, like TMNT is better because the single player is the multiplayer, so they're both good, and the multiplayer just gets more fun the more people that you have.
Yep.
So like, I would put Splatoon at 3 and TMNT at 2. Off of that, just because like I said, TMNT to me is a much more well balanced, well rounded experience than Splatoon 3. Because like, even though I love Splatoon 3, I definitely recognize that it slumps in some spots. For me, anyway.
It's reasonable criticism.
Yep.
So, how are we feeling about this list right now?
I think it's done.
I think it's done too.
Incredible. Yeah, no, that's fine. I think I'm good with everything as well.
All right. I'll read it down so listeners who have not been attentively listening can figure out where things are. Number 10, we have Metal Hellsinger. Number 9, Neon White. Number 8, Vampire Survivors. Number 7, God of War Ragnarok. Number 6, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Number 5, Elden Ring. Number 4, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Number 3, Splatoon 3. Number 2, TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Number 1, Pokemon Legends Arceus.
There you go.
Yeah.
Although I think the only thing that we should do is we should talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus, because it did just kind of get thrown in the top spot, and we're just like, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really spend any time justifying it to the people who are listening, just so they know why we put it in the top spot. But I mean, for me, I just think it's incredibly refreshing Pokemon game. It's did some incredible things with the formula, made collecting the Pokemon, like catching them all, like incredibly fun to do. We made like a very lively world, ran really well, fun to explore, lots of neat things to see, and I don't know, even like the characters that they had too. Like I thought they all had like a good personality. Like I feel like the characters in that game, like most of the NPCs in Pokemon games, I could care less about. Like
Yeah.
I don't know anyone. I don't know. I could not tell you like the name of a single NPC from I think Violet and Scarlet if I wanted to, and I just played.
Yeah, same. I feel the same way.
But at least with Legends Arceus, I mean, I might not be able to tell you their names, but I could at least be like, oh, it's the professor guy, and he wears that weird hat, and he's the one who made like the Pokeballs and the Pokedex, and he follows you around when you go on mission, like, and he's just got like this personality that's kind of like doofy, and I don't know, much more personable, or like the one seller guy with the blonde hair, like I don't know, like they're much more like memorable. Like I just don't know, like Scarlet and Violet's like, oh, there's the trainer who was like a businessman, and then there was that one girl who was weird from the school, didn't really say anything and brought you things. I don't know. Arceus is much better. That's the moral of the story. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts on it.
No, it's just a better game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a better game. All right.
And honestly, Arceus spawned my favorite, honestly, like of the newest Pokemon. The Hisuian types are fucking awesome.
I love the Hisuian types.
Yeah, like I like all of the Hisuian region more than I do Paldea. Like the new Pokemon I got for Paldea. So I love it. It's a very good game. I
Yeah.
wish there was like add-on DLC for it. Like I'd rather have DLC for that game, Jesus Christ, than Scarlet and Violet.
Same.
Truthfully,
Legends Arceus deserved like a full-fledged DLC. I mean, what did we get? We kind of got like a battle mode and like a challenge mode and like some extra things that had to do with like what are those like the things where like all the Pokemon spawn? I can't remember what they call them. I mean, they had more of those things. So you had better opportunities to get
Outbreaks?
shinies or whatever. Yeah, like the mass,
yeah.
like the mass outbreaks
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mass outbreaks, yeah.
And it's cool that they added more of those things, but like no, it really did deserve like an actual like extra like new full-fledged DLC area with some new story. Because I think it was actually like deserving of it. And it seemed like it had hooks for it. But my guess is honestly, if there was any plans for it, it was probably stopped because I bet once the game was finished, they pulled that whole team off to help with Scarlet and Violet because they're like they needed everyone that they could, everybody they could to get that game across the finish line. Oh, it's fantastic, and I hope they do something more with it. You know, either like Pokemon Legends. Well, I guess presumably Pokemon Legends from like different regions. Like they could just
They just need to, instead of doing remakes, they need to do Legends versions of games instead.
I agree. I mean, this was definitely better than what was it, Brilliant
Diamond, Shining Pearl. Yeah, that game was ass.
And I think that game only existed because they were like, oh no, we're going back to, you know, this region, and it would be nice if we had like, you know, the modern version of this game. But like when it comes around to like Black and White, you know, whatever, presumably the next game like up to bat. Like I would rather have like a Pokemon Legends Unova or whatever instead of, you know, Black and White remade. But let me go explore the world that way. It's much more fun. Except maybe just like add a little bit more thought out battling. Maybe do some chips or something. I don't know. But otherwise the game was excellent. I beat it twice.
Nice.
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready to move on to our like personal top 10s?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we got to do like a guessing game thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
we gotta do our guesses.
And you can just grab your ones from last year.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And you can just change your colors so we can make sure we got everything in place. I legitimately have no idea for Nick. I have no idea for Nick.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Actually, that's really funny.
It's rough thinking back to the games you played this year and being like, what the fuck all did Nick play?
Played Gran Turismo.
I did not play Gran Turismo.
No, he didn't.
I actively do not play Gran Turismo games.
Yeah, he did not play that. So I'm sitting here like, what did Nick play? Like Mike is pretty easy. I've got a general idea of 2 games. I don't know but I'm pretty sure I know what the third one is also. So yeah, I've got a general idea for that. But Nick, I've only got like 1 or maybe 2.
I
Probably.
have a general idea for Mike. I have somewhat of an idea for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely have too many games for Mike, and then like you can throw me curveballs sometimes where I'm
It's
like,
true.
oh, this is
It's
definitely
true.
his number 1 game, and it's like actually dipshit.
Yeah.
It was Wacky Muffin's Crazy Adventures was my favorite one of these.
I know.
I never talked about it.
They'll be like, oh, I didn't even nominate it for the top 12. 'cause I knew you
That's
guys
my
would-
number 2. That's my number 2 for this year. I feel like neither of you will get it, and then it kind of sucks.
Okay, so I know Mike's. I gotta place them right though. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just gonna do this right now.
Wait, look at mine. Look at mine that I'm typing for you. Oh, man.
All right, that's totally fair. Now I'm sitting here like, what's his other one? I'm thinking Legends Arceus is on here. That's what I'm thinking for Mike too. I'm thinking Mike is Splatoon 3, Legends are. How do I even fucking spell that? I can never remember how to spell Arceus. Arceus. Yeah, EUS. And then probably Xenoblade 3. And then for you, I'm just like, what the fuck is it?
Okay.
Oh no, no.
Yep. Oh, no.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Ah, maybe. I don't know. And then I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I just do not know.
Yes, this is what I'm gonna put down for you. Oh, why is it in pink?
I don't know. It's almost like the list is like, yeah, well, he's already got at least it in somewhere in there.
I'm not confident about the top or the bottom two placements for yours. I am confident that those two are in there.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, well, let's say what our three were. My three for Brandon, I had Elden Ring at 1, Vampire Survivors at 2, Neon White for 3. And then for Nick, I had TMNT Shredder's Revenge at 1, Splatoon 3 2, and Pokemon Legends Arceus at 3.
Yeah.
Brandon?
I had Splatoon 3 at 1 for Mike, 2 is Legends Arceus, and 3 is Xenoblade 3. And for Nick, I have TMNT Shredder's Revenge at 1, Splatoon 3 at 2, and Legend Arceus at 3.
All right, and then for Brandon, I put TMNT Shredder's Revenge first, Neon White second, Vampire Survivors third. And then for Mike, Legends Arceus at first, Splatoon 3 second, and Xenoblade 3.
There you go. Now we got to give our top 10 in order, right?
Well,
Huh?
we go around, yeah. So, I mean, I'll start with number 10. We'll just do it in the same order we did this list.
Sounds
My
good.
number 10 was a throwaway, Bayonetta 3. I think we talked enough about it. I don't have anything else to say. It's a game I finished this year, and it's on this list. And if you want to know the rest of my thoughts on it, listen to the rest of Game of the Year, because I think I've gone into far too much detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandon?
My number 10 is Stranger in Paradise. This game's fucking excellent. It slaps. It's good. This is the Final Fantasy game where it's a retelling of Final Fantasy 1, but you play as a fucking, I don't know, an edgy guy who loves listening to Limp Bizkit in his fucking headset after fighting demons and telling everyone to fuck off, and it's just great. It is so, like, it's like watching a bad movie, but it's actually fun. And that's kind of what this is. Like, the dialogue is garbage, but it's fucking hilarious for all the wrong reasons, and it's so much fun to play, because it is a Souls-like. So there you go.
Lovely. Nick?
All right, I'm going to do my number 10, but can I also mention my honorable mention for this as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now. All right, so my number 10 is somewhat of a throwaway. I did have a lot of fun with this game, though, Mario Strikers.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know that game had a lot of shortcomings and unfortunately followed Nintendo's like new formula of putting out like half-finished fucking games.
Yeah.
But I did have a lot of fun with it playing with my friends, and it was very good. My honorable mention was for Vampire Survivors, only because I only literally played it like last weekend, and I never talked about it on the podcast, so like it would have never been like even in your guys' thought process to put that on anywhere for my lists. I started playing it on the phone where it runs pretty decent, and then I bought it for Steam and played it on my Steam Deck where it shits all over the phone version.
Yep.
Because this might just be a me thing. I hate using touchscreen controls, and truthfully, I don't know how I would play the second level of that game on my phone because it's a side scroller.
Dude, wait until you get to like the third or fourth or even the sixth. That shit just goes hard.
I will say, I had a lot of fun playing the game. I have 3 levels unlocked right now. I'm on the milk fucking factory with the milk goblins.
Yep.
My only complaint about this game, and it had comedic timing when it happened because it must have been reading my mind. The game definitely vibe checks you when it knows that you're fucking just ripping ass. So I was playing the second map, the Inlaid Library, and there was a point, like, I had a really good build going. I think I was on, like, level 80.
Do you understand, like, synergies and stuff? Like, do you know how to, like, advance and level? Okay, cool.
So, like, I had, like, the upgrades, like, leveling up, and, like, they would feed off of each other. I don't know how to get that to happen again because it only happened once.
So every item upgrades with another item. It's kind of a
Yes.
trial and error sort of deal, and you
But
need
they need to be like right across from each other, or
No. You just get them max level, both of them,
Oh, okay.
and then a chest drops, and you open up a chest, and you have a chance of getting the upgraded version of that item.
Gotcha. Yeah. So the reason why this run was going so well is because I think I had like 3 or 4 of those going.
Yeah.
Like my whip was like stealing health,
Mhm.
and was like, since it was the inlaid library, you can keep finding the book for cooldown. So
Yeah.
like my cooldown was basically non-existent.
Mhm.
And there was a time where my screen, the only way I knew where my character actually was due to the fact that I saw his health bar. I did not know where my character's sprite was at all. And like I remember like being there, right? And I'm just like I'm basically just going in circles at this point.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, this is kind of boring now. And like as soon as like I said that to myself in my head,
vibe check the fucking bag.
the screen flashes, every enemy disappears, and then fucking death shows up. And I'm like, okay, cool. I will try and kill him. Thankfully, I had the lance that like stops time.
Mhm.
So like he would try the move and then time would stop. And I was like, all right, cool. I can chip away at him. I got this. 30 seconds later, a second one spawns and fucking kills me. And I was like, okay. Gotcha. So this game was just out to get me.
No, so what that is no game of Vampire Survivors will last longer than 30 minutes. Those are the instant death kills. That's the in your game. This is a roguelike. You're supposed to go and play a different round, use a different character, so on and so forth after those 30 minutes. It automatically will end your game no matter what at 30 minutes. There is a way to kill Death, but he has like 2 billion HP. And you have to set up your synergies correctly to be able to like freeze him and constantly freeze him and anything else. And you also need to set up your placement correctly so that you can kill him. If you kill him, you unlock him as a playable character. There are about 55 playable characters in this game. Each one of them plays differently, and that's what makes this game so fucking good. Every character feels different, and as you level up those characters when you're playing as them, you unlock their special ability to be used on every other character as well. And then when you combine all that stuff together, it just becomes crazy in the end. And the game's really, really good. You can also play a mode called Hyper Mode, which takes it from 30 minutes to 15 minutes. But again, at the end of those 15 minutes, Death will always kill you. That's just it. So you can kill him, but like it takes like 3 or 4 minutes. But you'll never like really go past 35 minutes when playing.
I will say, if this is something that you want to try out, it doesn't hurt to download the phone version. That's what initially got me hooked, because I was playing on my phone at work and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I bet it would be better with like better controls, even though there's only like one button in the game. And I was like, oh, well, good thing I have a Steam Deck. So I got home that day and I bought it on Steam for like, what was it, like $3, $4, if that?
Yeah, it's like less than $5 for it and the DLC.
Yes. And then I was like, oh, this is miles better. Miles better on the Steam Deck. And I imagine PC by proxy, because like you can probably just use like your keyboard or whatever to control your character.
Absolutely.
Very fun game. It's like, for me, like, at least on my phone, not so much on the deck, because on the deck it feels like a more complete experience, but on my phone it definitely gives me the vibe of like a and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but like a Bejeweled or something, where like I can pick up my phone and just kind of throw like 10, 15, 20 minutes away.
That's fair.
If I'm like sitting somewhere and just have fun with it. And then when I have it on Steam Deck, I'm like, all right, it's gamer time. And like I'm actually going for broke and like trying to get like the best builds, the best runs, whereas I'm kind of just dicking around on the phone.
I think as you learn more, if you decide to stick with the game and continue playing it, you'll realize that there's a lot more intricacies to this game than just what you're saying at this point in time, and I think that's what makes this game so good, just in general.
Yeah, so. And to me, it like it cuts deep as just a like, it's just a fun game. It's just like, you don't have to be invested in it at all. There's like, you know, it's not a AAA experience or anything like that. Like, you just hop in, you play a game, you have some fun, and like I think that is a rarity, kind of, not so much anymore, but like a little bit of still like a rarity these days, where like I don't need to sit down and play like God of War Ragnarok for 20, 30, 40 hours or whatever. Like I can just sit down and rip it real quick on here, and it literally has a timer built in, like you said, that like if you're like scared that you're gonna throw your day away, no, the game will vibe check you, and you'll be like, oh shit, wait, let me go let my dogs out, or like,
yeah, but you can also still throw your day away. I was like, man, I should play more Bayonetta at one point, and then I played 8 more hours of Vampire Survivors.
Oh my goodness.
So like, there's been times where I just lose track of time playing this game because it's one of those games where it definitely has the kind of like the Civ vibe, where it's like one more turn, one more go, one more
Yeah.
go, one more go. Yeah, I'll get it this time. I'll get the right RNG this time. Maybe you know. And as you continue in this game, you also unlock things a lot like items that help you out. Like you'll get a map eventually that shows you where items are. Okay, so you've already got that. Eventually, you'll also be able to upgrade your weapons all the way to max level and then go plus ultra with them. Constantly add more stuff to your max level weapons. So like you could get an upgrade of like, for instance, your health stealing thing, but let's also make it so it slows down enemies when you hit them as well, and it steals their health. And now it's moving so fast that you're practically going to have a seizure if you stare at it for way too long if you have epilepsy. So like that's the kind of thing that will happen in that game. I was showing Mike one game stream of me playing it, and I know he was like saying, "Yeah, you're like doing nothing," but it's like I've played this game so long, I know how to do everything. But when you're first coming into this game, there's a lot you won't understand because the game just wants you to figure it out. Have you been upgrading with gold coins that you've been getting? Okay.
Yeah, I've been upgrading in the main menu.
So Duplicator's really good. I highly recommend that if you haven't gone for that yet. Very, very good. Because it makes it so you just do double of whatever your main item is, no matter what. So go for Duplicator. That'll just make your entire screen become a fucking mess of pixels. Essentially. Yeah, good game. Very good game. I can't believe this isn't on your top 10. But that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. So, there's that.
We're on to 9. Number 9.
I'm so sorry. I could talk forever about Vampire Survivors. I'm so very sorry. Alright, what's your number 9, Mike?
It is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a great Musou game. Thought it did a good job of like expanding on like kind of the, I guess, theoretical story of that game, and at least the characters and stuff. You'd think that that kind of stuff would be interesting to see. I enjoyed it. I actually don't think I ever actually finished one of the storylines for it though. So there's just so much to do. It's like a vastly content-filled game. Like I think you can just find like endless amounts of things to do with it. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time from what I did play. And if you like Musou or if you'd like Fire Emblem 3 Houses, then I would recommend it.
Very nice.
Yeah. Brandon.
My number 9 is Nobody Saves the World. This game is a fun little isometric top-down RPG similar to Zelda. It has a lot of really good humor to it. There's lots of really interesting ways that you can play it because you can transform yourself into many different characters, and you can have like a bodybuilder that also like leaves behind a slime trail that poisons enemies that step on it and stuff like that. There's like classes that are not like your normal classes. Like I said, you've got like bodybuilder as a class and dragon as a class where you can transform into these things. And I mean, the bodybuilder class does things like throw dumbbells and whatnot, and it's just really silly, and it's a lot of fun, and the different ways you can mix and match classes makes this just a very enjoyable game. And I played the entirety of the game in multiplayer, and playing it in multiplayer makes it even more fun playing with a friend. And yeah, just the puzzles, the environment, the world building, and the game in general is lots of fun. So there you go.
Okay. Nick?
My number 9 is Live Alive.
Oh.
Live Alive?
Live Alive?
Okay.
Had a lot of fun with this. Definitely can feel its age while playing it. But it's I'm shocked they even like ported this, honestly. But Square Enix is kind of going through a phase right now where they're like, let's just bring everything back. So it's an RPG. You play multiple different characters throughout time in like different settings and kind of experience their lives. And it's a lot of fun. It's kind of what I was looking for as like a game to take with me on the road. I did play it a bit this past summer when me and my friends were away on our vacation. And it's good. It's a good game. It's fun. It's relatively short. So like, don't go into it expecting like a long RPG experience because it's definitely not that. But it's fun and I like it. So
Nice.
Great. My number 8, Pokemon Violet.
Mm.
I told you it was going to be on this list
Yeah.
before, and it did not make my top 10. I think
Mhm.
we all said, well, I think Nick at least said it was on his too somewhere in the bottom 5.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. I thought I had a great time with it, despite its flaws. I'm hoping it just gets more polished as time goes on. Hopefully, by the time the DLC comes around, we get to see a much more like realized product. But I'm excited about whatever that they might have throwing up for DLC. I thought the DLC for Sword Shield was excellent, and hopefully they take some of that and kind of inspiration and build onto this too. I don't know. I love it when they have like the new like areas and they build in like the new regional Pokemon and I think DLC, especially compared to like a third game, I think gives them a lot of room to expand on like what they have. So we'll see. I've really been enjoying like the terror raids that they've been doing so far, and I think they're very creative. So
Okay.
I'm very happy with it so far. So yeah, my number 8. Brandon.
My number 8's Splatoon 3.
Oh, I'm surprised you made it that high up your list.
Yeah, it's my favorite competitive game that I played in 2022.
You
Easily.
barely touched it.
I'm well aware of that, but I don't have to have touched it to know that it had a solid fundamentals and that it was a good game. I played like maybe 10, 12 hours or so of it, but like that was enough for me to be like, yeah, this is a really good, very well made competitive game, and I really enjoyed my time with it when I could play it and when I did play it. Plenty of other things took over, and I feel like a lot of this year was dominated by single player experiences, with the exception of like 2 games. So that's part of the reason why it's here on this list, this far, like up the list.
It's the only real multiplayer game that made it on my list. Not that I ever have like a ton, but
There's 2 on mine.
Nick?
My number 8 is V Rising.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Yeah. V Rising's a fun little Diablo-esque style resource kind of Rust-inspired game where you are a vampire
Yes.
and you go around and you do your vampire shit. But you also, obviously, like I said, you collect resources, you build your own kind of castle progressively. Starts out from very humble shacks to literally corridors upon corridors of just confusing and winding castles, however you decide to make it. There is fun PvE and PvP elements to this game. I played a fair amount of both. And it was fun to kind of just roll up on people and just end their entire career in one fell swoop. So if you're into that sort of resource gathering type game like Rust and like top-down kind of isometric style stuff like Diablo, definitely check out V Rising. It's a good game. It's good.
I agree. I second that. I couldn't do the whole dealing with people constantly attacking me and ruining my day, so me and Katie just made our own server and played on it. It was lots of fun. Tons of fun.
Let's see. My number 7, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm glad that this has shown back up now. Yay!
I know. I mean, I thought it was like it's a very creative game. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed it, and some of the endings are just. And I think even when we're talking about with like best story, like it's very hard to just. They're so crazy and all over the place. Like I can't even recall of them because there's probably like 20 to 30 endings, I think,
Yeah.
in this game. Like there's just.
Isn't there like 20 new endings? So that means there's got to be like 30 or so.
It's double
all
whatever
combined.
the first game had.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The core game, I guess, is probably the better way to put it. So whatever the core game had. this
I
is at
like the
least
core
double.
game a lot, so I haven't been able to pick this one up yet though. So kind
I
of
think
sucks.
I think someone who has played it before will find enjoyment out of this new game. Because I think yours, like, because you already own the original, like, I think you said
Yes.
it lets you upgrade, right? Like,
I don't know if it still does. Let me double check. That's a good question. Let's look at Stanley Parable.
because for someone who's played it before, like, if you could pay to upgrade so you don't have to play through all the original endings to see all the new content, I think that would be probably the more preferable way to play.
So there is no way to upgrade it anymore. So there's
no.
that.
No.
So I guess it was just when it first launched that you could upgrade it or whatever. So nope, I got to buy a completely new game, which is on my wish list. And I mean, I will definitely at some point in time because I did enjoy the first one a shit ton. You saw me rant and rave about it and fight for it to be on the top list before in the past. So yeah.
And no, it is a great game, and I think there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of creativity there. So I was constantly surprised by some of the stuff that would come out of this game. So that's why it's my number 7.
Very nice.
Brandon.
My number 7 is Metal Hellsinger.
Fuck. Wait. Not
No,
fuck.
it's
Never
not-
mind.
No, you
I was
didn't
gonna put
mess
that
it
as your
up.
number 3. Never mind. I
No,
got
you ain't messed
confused
it up
myself.
yet.
Yet.
Yeah, I know. Keyword, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Metal Hellsinger, like I said, this has a lot of my favorite bands that I grew up with as a kid, and I was very impressed at how well they mixed rhythm games with a shooter, kind of like Doom, and it just worked. It had the like dark gothic, vibes and stuff that you would see in something similar to a game like oh my goodness, what is that one by Double Fine that I can't think of right now?
Brutal Legend.
Brutal Legend, similar to something like that, and then the music works with the actual aesthetic of the game perfectly. So it's great, lots and lots of fun.
Nick?
My number 7,
Mm-hmm.
Kirby Dream Buffet.
What?
I
Okay,
fucking love
okay.
Kirby Dream Buffet.
Okay, I see you. That's an interesting pick.
Obstacle course style game. You and 3 other Kirbys fight head to head against one another and go through obstacle course. Try to be the most stuffed boy by the end of the race. It's honestly just a huge love letter to Kirby. There's a lot of throwback stuff in it, collectible type stuff.
Okay.
For Kirby's anniversary year. And like I said, I had a lot of fun playing it. Honestly, like it was fun. I love Kirby, so
That's sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's Kirby love this year. Let's see, my number 6, Persona 5 Royale.
Oh hell yeah!
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of like, I put it in that spot because it was kind of a compromise to myself. Because I'm
Okay.
always kind of weird about games that, like, this is like a port. It doesn't really add anything like special this year. It just kind of, it falls into the 2022 releases like on a technicality. So, I mean, I'm like, I really enjoyed it this year. I don't think it would have gone like too much higher up my list if I kind of like unrestricted myself more.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought this was just a nice place for it. I put it on the list before I finished it,
Okay.
too. But I mean, it was a pretty good like portion of the way through it.
Was this enough to make you want to check out the other Persona games? That's my main question to you.
Well, eventually, like I told you, I'm not. The Persona 5 is a lot. It
No,
was a
I don't
lot.
mean when they come out right away. I just mean like, did you like what you played enough to be like, okay, I'll play the 4 and 3.
Yeah, like, I
I'll
would
give them a try.
another one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I definitely would probably try like 4, and I'd probably wait on 3 to see if this like rumor of the remake is real. That's where I am on it right now. So
3 is something I'm playing day 1. I'm so excited for it.
isn't it out like this week?
Yeah, it's out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
No, it's out tomorrow. Or it's either Thursday or tomorrow. I don't remember.
One of these days. That's out. Yeah. So that's where I am on that. So
I'm not exactly sure which one it is.
all right, Brandon.
What number are we on? 6?
6.
Oh shit. My number 6 is Pokemon Legends Arceus. What can I say about Arceus that we haven't said? Like, it's just a way better approach for Pokemon that I hope gets to like be expanded upon and we have more of in the future, because they took a risk and I think it paid off. I think it was a very well made game and a lot of fun. Lots of quality of life elements to this also. I would like to see come over in the future, but I don't think we're going to after what we saw with Violet and Scarlet. So yeah.
I mean, they were made at the same time. I think the big
Yeah.
will be whatever's next.
Mhm.
But hopefully, I hope so. Nick.
Number 6, Pokemon Scarlet.
Da-da-da.
Pokemon Scarlet. We've talked about this game in excess. I have, like I said, played this game a lot with my friends online, doing a lot of the shiny hunting and the what the fuck is the things? The raids, the Terra raid battles, and having a lot of fun with that. So this is definitely one of my highest played games this year. I think I put nearly 100 hours in this one. And for what it's worth, I mean, obviously, like, Brandon, I know you don't have a lot of good things to say about it. But I also do feel like our mileage kind of varied a little bit because like you definitely had a lot more technical issues than me for whatever
I
reason.
definitely did. Yeah.
And that's typically like that's something that will really piss me off about a game, especially something like Pokemon. Like if I'm in the middle of something and it crashes and I lose a lot of data, like good luck getting me to come back.
Dude, I had it
Um,
crash multiple times with me when I was playing online, and that
Yeah.
fucked everything. That shit
So
was not
like
good.
I had a very different experience in that regard. Like it's not the best running game by far and
No.
wide. So like don't take that as what I'm saying here, but I also obviously didn't have the crashing issues
Mhm.
and whatnot that you had. So, but I did have a lot of fun with it, both playing with my friends and just kind of playing it on my own.
Mhm.
So my number
I'm not gonna have a chance to talk about this, so I'm gonna interrupt you for a second and talk about Violet and Scarlet just real quick. I don't hate Violet and Scarlet. I just want that to be known. I actually did enjoy the game. I had fun with it, but with the amount of issues I had, as well as just how many things I can point to as not being nitpicks, but just outright being bad about the game. There was no way I was putting it on this list. That's the same reason I fought for it not to be on our top 10 list. I really do think that it's a bad game that I had fun playing. Like, technically, it is unacceptable in the state it is in. And even if I had fun with it, I've had fun with plenty of other games that are just not acceptable in the state they're in. So, yeah.
Fair.
Brandon hates
I'm never gonna knock you for that too. Like I'm not like that's a very like like it's okay to have that that
Mhm.
opinion.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
My number 5 is God of War Ragnarok. I said as much as I could about God of War Ragnarok during the story elements. I think the story of this game is fucking phenomenal. I think the character development is done so very well. This is essentially the last game in the God of War series until whatever happens next happens, and I think they did a really, really good job with this game as a whole. It does have the elements similar to things like The Last of Us, where it's just holding left stick while people talk for a while, and that has kind of gotten old at this point, I think, with several games now, and that's kind of why it's further down on this list, because there were elements where I was playing the game. I say with bunny ear quotes, but I wasn't really playing the game. I was just kind of moving forward while listening to whatever information they had to give me. And granted, there were a lot of moments where that was really awe-inspiring, and it did a great job building its world and story, but I wanted to play the game, and that was the problem. So, but overall, it was a very good game when it did have gameplay, and there was a lot of gameplay because there is a shit ton of game here. So even though there are a lot of moments, like I said, where you're just holding forward and talking with NPCs and stuff, the gameplay that's here is very good. It's not like it's not like Metal Gear Solid 4 where it's like 90-minute cutscene, fucking 10 minutes of gameplay. No, there's a shit ton of gameplay here. There's sizable chunks, but there's also sizable chunks of downtime, which I do think does a really good job of building the story and the character development while you're playing. So, great game overall.
My number 5 was Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Wait, did we skip Nick
No, you skipped
for his
it.
number 5?
I'm after.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
dumb. We skipped you. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm getting confused. My bad.
It's okay. Not a big deal.com. Yeah, no, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I put it in my number 5. I thought it was a great Kirby game. I really enjoyed the game. I thought they did a good job transitioning to 3D. It was a lot of fun. Had some great abilities. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it was
Gun.
It was a wonderful game. Gun. I know.
My number 5 is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
I'm
Nice.
surprised about that high up your list.
Me too.
I mean, I don't know if it should be like you look at the other 5 below it, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. So it like I was saying earlier in the beginning, it's definitely just more of Mario and Rabbids, the goodness of Mario and Rabbids, like the tactical gaming elements of it. The only real knock I have for this game is voice acting. It's very misplaced and not needed. I also, it's hard to kind of get hooked by this game right now. It's not really keeping my attention like I would want it to.
Mhm.
So every time I try to go back and play it and finish it, I'll maybe get like an hour or two out of it, and I'm like, I'm good actually for now, and then I'll come back to it. Like, there's nothing inherently bad about the game, but it definitely hasn't hooked me like the first one. But it is still quite fun when I do get a good kind of rhythm going with it. So,
I see.
and I do like the newer characters that they added to the game. They're quite good, and I do like the expanding of the core mechanics of the gameplay because it does feel like a much smoother experience. And honestly, I would like other future tactics style games to take notes from this in terms of
Okay.
gameplay. Anyway,
Um, let's see, we're on to number 4.
Mhm.
My number 4 is Inscription.
Nice. I'm so glad that made it on your list so high up. Ah, it's the second game I've recommended several years ago that have shown
It was
back
just
up.
last year. It wasn't that long ago.
Dude, the pandemic
Been on
years
PC for
feel like forever ago. Let's just be honest here. It's all a blur, man. I'm sorry.
But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a really creative game. And I think we talked about it, I don't know, at some point since I started playing the game. But
Mhm.
that Casey's mod or whatever, that kind of
Yes.
new content that actually came out this year, even on the PC, where it makes it into kind of like a roguelike experience, just with like randomized elements and different challenges that you can like add on to the gameplay. They give it like almost infinite replayability. Like there's just so much you can do with it and just kind of mess around. And even still, if I find myself with like, a little bit of just downtime and something, something that I need to just kill time with, I can just boot it up and I'll play it for a little bit and get something started and maybe finish it even later. It's a nice, easy and pick up and play game where you can just have fun. Like, I don't know, there's just something fun about, especially when you have like Mantis God. Like, I just love like making like a crazy deck where you just like go through and like you just wreck things and just have a good time. So
Nice.
yeah, I was really enjoying it. That's great. If you haven't picked it up on whatever system you have, you should have something you can
should.
play. So yeah. All right, Brandon, 4.
All right, this is where I dash someone's hopes and dreams real quick. My number 4 is TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Wah wah.
This game is fucking
Damn.
excellent. I played it like 3 times in the span of one day on a live stream. Had so much fun playing it. Was really enjoyable playing with friends. I just had a blast playing this game in general. However, the 3 that are above this, like, I have constantly gone back to them throughout the whole year. And this was kind of a one-off that I know I'll go back to again. But right now, it's still, I mean, just go play it. It's so good. Just go play it. Like, that's all I could say. I'm sorry, Nick.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm sure Nick will do very well with this score. Let's see, Nick, you're number 4.
Well, I'm about to get a double kill because my number 4 was also TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Wah, wah. Rip. Holy shit. You fucking Uno reversed us.
I did. I love this game. I really did. And I kind of put it here because of the same reasons that Brandon did, is because the 3 games that follow, I just had more fun and revisited more times. And not to say that I didn't have a fucking blast with TMNT, but
And we're definitely going to be coming back to that game for years. Like,
yeah,
there's
like
no doubt about it.
me and my friends play it all the time still. Like, but that's kind of my thing is I only really play it with my friends now. I don't
Same.
play it by myself. So if you see that as a negative, you can, I guess. But the game is very good. The music's very good. It to me feels like remember that old beat 'em up Power Ranger game on the Super Nintendo?
Yes, I would have said
very
the
much-
X-Men game, but
That works too. But like this definitely
Simpsons?
like
Eh?
I don't like The Simpsons as much, but yes. But I definitely get like those vibes from this, and I absolutely love it, and it definitely should be something that you should have played last year, especially if you have Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, just go play it now. It's still on Game Pass.
Number 3 for me
Yes.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yes!
Yes.
We both guessed number 3 for Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah,
Our
I
only
understand.
differences are the next ones. And so one of us is like literally a 50-50 shot of who's gonna fucking win this next one.
I think one of us
you
is
got
gonna-
it right, and
Yeah.
one of you got it wrong.
I mean, yeah.
But you're both getting points for it.
Oh,
That's
okay,
right.
cool. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, no, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Actually, my whole top 3, I had 4 games that actually hit the most hours, like my top 10 on the Switch, like of all time.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
And all 3 of them were up there. So I think it's impressive. I really enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think it's the best in the series overall when you take all things
I
considered.
really want to play it, dude.
It is worth it. I think so. I think it's good. I think the story makes a lot more sense if you actually play it than having me try to explain it.
Yeah,
But
probably.
Yeah. but it really hits on just like so many different things. Like the music's just it's on point. The world's really expansive. The story is just very interesting and compelling, and the characters are just I think really are good at like connecting with you in a lot of different ways. So yeah, I mean I would recommend it to anyone. Like I said, I put a ton of hours into it. I'm really excited to see whatever the DLC is for this year, because it should have some sort of presumably standalone experience, kind of like Torna did with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which was an excellent experience. So yeah, I'm just like really high on that game. So check it out. All right, Brandon.
I'm going for my number 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Elden Ring. I
knew it
put
was
so
somewhere.
many hours into this game. I had so much fun playing this game. I played different builds. I've played it on the Steam Deck. I've played it on PC. I've played it on PS5. It's so fucking good. I will probably use it as the main Dark Souls / Souls-like game to introduce my wife to, because she's been wanting to play them for a while, but I know her temper. And I feel like she's much more prone to not get mad at Elden Ring because of the amount of choices that you have when it comes to Elden Ring. And I think it is an excellent starting point for Souls people that want to get into the Souls games, or if you just want to play a really good RPG. I really think it's one of the best RPGs we've had probably since, and granted, I don't feel this strongly about the game about the name, but so many other people do. I think this is the best RPG that's been released since Skyrim, and that is legitimately how I feel about Elden Ring. So
A lot of
There you
people are
go.
really high on it.
Yeah.
Nick?
My number 3 is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
let's go! I got that one.
Oh, I had that for your 3 spot too.
Yep.
I
Honestly,
was so not sure if that was going to make your list or not.
I thought it was.
Oh yeah, no. Listen, if Pokemon Scarlet and Violet made my list, this was for sure making my list.
Mhm.
It's funny because Arceus came out before Scarlet and Violet, but it feels like it should have been post that, because the things that they do in Arceus are just so much done better in that game than they are in Scarlet and Violet in terms of the open world and whatnot.
Yep.
But had a lot of fun playing this. Like I said, it has some of my favorite variants. The Hisuian versions of Pokemon are fucking fantastic. The game feels a lot better to play than Scarlet and Violet. And just had a really, really good time playing this game. So
Very good.
Very nice.
All right, number 2. Someone's about to get their heart broken. Was Splatoon 3.
Oh my god!
Baby!
Nick coming
Baby!
back to win it this year.
I
My
know.
man,
I
my
got
man, you. Congrats, dude. Well done.
it.
Yeah, no, Splatoon 3, excellent. It was my second most played game on the Switch of all time, currently. So I put a ton of hours into it. I think I did over 200. I had a great time with it. I really enjoyed Salmon Run. I thought that, just the stuff that they added was excellent into it, just overall. Just had a lot of personality. Yeah, we talked a shit ton about this game. I don't know what
Yeah.
else to say. So, yeah.
Mhm.
And Nick, the only reason that one doesn't need to be colored red yet is because if it gets onto Brandon's list somewhere else, then you still.
Oh, fuck! I'm an idiot. Yeah, I keep changing it back.
Yeah.
And I imagine that one probably will. That's my money.
Okay, fair enough.
Speaking of Brandon.
Yeah.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Neon White. Neon White is so fucking good. This is the kind of game that, like, the music, the setting, and then the gameplay all come together to be great, and it has that perfect amount of cringe in the dialogue that it's just like, I like this because I know this is bad writing, but I still love it. It's like early 2000s anime bad writing, and it's incredibly good because of how bad it is. But it's still just so much fun. And, like, since it is a speedrunning game, you're going to want to continue to go back and do all the things to, like, get all the different presents that you can give to different characters so that you can have, like, relationships with them and this, that, and the other, and unlock special missions for them. And it's just so good. I can't say anything bad about this game. It's just so fucking good. I only talked about it, like, I think once on the podcast, but the reason why is it's, like, something that's very hard to describe, and it's just something that I think people, if they have any interest in what I'm saying right now, should just play it for themselves. So there you go.
Nick, your number 2?
Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
This was definitely
I got that also.
by and far my most played Nintendo Switch game. The multiplayer really hooked me. I had a lot of fun playing it. I had a lot of fun doing Salmon Run. Like I said earlier, the Splatfest. Like, this was the first Splatoon game to really, really grab me. And then once it did, it just did not let go. So absolutely love it. Hoping for more content because I just been having a blast with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is DLC coming for sure. Like, they
Yeah.
already confirmed that. So, and Octopath was excellent. I don't know. Did you ever end up actually like touching Octopath?
I don't believe so.
Because I feel like you downloaded it at some point with the expansion pass. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I have that. Yeah, I never went back and played that. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's excellent too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what they end up, knocking around with it. But they did some creative stuff with the DLC for 2. I'm sure they'll do it with 3. And I think the stuff that they have put out so far, at least with like the winter update, I think was pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
Number 1 for me. I know you guys like the writing's on the wall with this one, so I already updated all your lists for it. But it's Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think
Wow.
I think Nick explained my thoughts on it pretty well.
I
when he
mean,
just
that's
talked about it too. But
there you go.
yeah, like I said, I played it twice. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I almost thought about playing it for like a third time.
That's crazy.
It's just I don't know. There's just something. It's just a fun game to just fuck around in.
The
Like, I like
gameplay
it.
loop is solid. It's
Yeah.
just so solid.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It doesn't feel like it's like penalizing in a lot of ways. Just
Mhm.
kind of like explore like some of the other Pokemon games are. You can just go around, you can have fun, you can catch a lot of Pokemon, and you can feel like you can release a lot of Pokemon without being like, oh no, my prize Bidoof. Like, I don't know.
I got a shiny of that. We gotta leave that alone.
Yeah, and there's just, like I said, this game was just like brimming with personality from even the NPCs, but even to like the Pokemon themselves. I think they did a great job of making them seem like, actual wildlife. Yeah, so I just really enjoyed it. I want to see them expand on this more, and like I said, if this ends up becoming the formula for like the main series, at least for like the overworld like mechanics or whatever, the gyms obviously, still have a place in like the main series. But I mean, I would love to see them like take the overworld exploration mechanics that they had in Arceus and apply them to Scarlet and Violet. And I agree with Nick wholeheartedly. Like, if this and Scarlet released day and date the same day, like, you would think Arceus was the newer game by far.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Brandon, you're number 1.
Come on, it's obvious. It's fucking Vampire Survivors. This game invented a new genre, and I not only played Vampire Survivors, but I've played pretty much at least 10 other games in the now Survivors auto player genre that people have come up with. If I could have, I probably also would have put HoloCure on this list, which is a HoloLive version of Vampire Survivors that's made
Oh?
specifically by the fans and is really, really good, really fucking good, and is free to play. Highly recommend checking that out if you like Vampire Survivors and VTubers. But Vampire Survivors is the game that I have constantly gone back to over and over and over again. You heard how much I was gushing about it when Nick even brought it up for a second there. I think Vampire Survivors is that game that looks like it is a puddle, and then as you learn more and more about that game, it is a fucking ocean of content and just different things you can do in the game as a whole, and it's so fucking good. I actually finished the game recently. You can finish this game. I got credits to roll. I had credits roll on Vampire Survivors. So that's fucking nuts. And then I did the same with the DLC. So on top of all of that, I've got nothing bad to say about this game. Every single moment I have played this game, I've enjoyed my time with it. There have been multiple days where I have woken up, I have started playing Vampire Survivors, I've stopped playing Vampire Survivors, gone to bed, woken up, and then did it again. This has happened at least 2 or 3 days within the last 3 months. So I was absolutely addicted to this game to the point where, much like with DDR, you gotta close your eyes and you see those DDR arrows still moving. Yeah, I close my eyes and I still see the fucking the blast from different enemies and different projectiles being thrown in Vampire Survivors still moving. And that happens when you play this game and stare at the screen for very, very long amounts of time. And you will find yourself slipping into that. You'll start out playing this game like it's just gonna have a little taste, and then you realize that it's crack cocaine and you're fucked. And that eventually happens. And this game is just fucking incredible. For $5 and then $2 for the DLC, or buying them together for I think $5.99 or some shit. This game had so much content and birthed a new genre completely that was so fun to play and gave me so much enjoyment throughout the entire year ever since I bought it. So, yeah, it's my number one. A little indie game for about $7 is better than a fucking any of the AAA games I played this year.
Nick, did you really put it in number one?
What? He changed that.
I put it in my number one.
What?
My number one game this year was Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
I almost put that in.
Are
for
you
Turtles.
fucking kidding
I almost
me?
did. I was like, no. I'm like, there's no way Nick put Kirby in his
Oh,
top
yes.
3.
Holy
It's gotta be
shit.
Turtles. But I was like, that's the only game I could think of that it could possibly be. And then I was like, no, I'll put Turtles in. Like he was gushing about Turtles. It has to be
My
Turtles.
God.
Yeah, it's my number one game. Honestly, I think what this game did for the Kirby game series as a whole really kind of elevated it. Kirby games, honestly, in the last couple of recent ones I've played, to me, have felt just kind of bland and not as fun as some of the older ones that I used to play. But this one for me really struck all the right chords. Had a lot of fun playing it. Had a lot of fun going through and doing the challenge modes and the boss modes and whatnot. And a really solid local multiplayer game as well. Playing this with somebody else. So I don't know. I absolutely love this game. I thought they did a fantastic job with it. I thought the boss fights in it were good. I thought I don't want to say writing because there is no writing. It's a Kirby game, but at the same time, I guess kind of the I guess intended emotions, if you want to call it that, just kind of like reading characters' body language and whatnot. I thought it was all just done very, very well, and I liked it a lot. So
Yeah, that's not a bad choice. That was a great game. So yeah, so that's our top 10 picks. That's all of them. Yeah. As for overall scores for our predictions, so as you guys know, we predicted each other's top 3s, and we get points based on, you get 2 points if you get the correct placement and the correct game. You get 1 point if you guessed a game that was on the top 3 but it was in the wrong place. So my breakdown, I guessed all of Brandon's top 3 games, but I had them all in the wrong place. And with Nick, I guessed 2 of his top 3 games, then just switched out TMNT for Kirby. So I only got So I got 2 placements, so I got 4 points. So that gives me an overall 7. Brandon, he guessed all 3 of my top 3 games, but he only had 1 in the correct place, giving him 4 points for me. And likewise with Nick, he had 2 of the 3 games in the correct place. And so he got 4 points there. So he got an overall score of 8. But Nick, reversing last year's completely, he got all 3 of mine in the correct place. And he got 2 of Brandon's top 3, 1 of them in the right place. So he got himself an overall score of 9, taking the win for this year.
Nick comes back to
Look
get
at
the victory.
Look at that. W's.
Yeah, win-win. Yeah, I mean, that's our game of the year stuff. That's it. That's all of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah, great 2022.
Absolutely.
Are you guys ready to wrap up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget to find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, the website game-crunch.com has all the old episodes. If you want to check them out. And if you want to reach out to us, we're on Facebook, Twitter, or you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon,
Hey.
any final thoughts?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Nick?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. Find me online. I'm Clash Penguin on Twitter or your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Games. I figured we were 2 away from 500. You were saying, Mike?
I mean, this technically is episode 500.
Oh.
We just didn't do anything for it because Game of the Year is just so much.
I got
But
you.
we could do something for 500 next week, and that could technically be 500.
I was gonna say, yeah, we could do like a thing, like next week can be my last one. We'll do like a wrap up.
Have a send off for Nick. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I wanted to do. I didn't want it to end with Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
I know.